Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today we are looking at something I wasn't actually intending to build. Yes, I finally got onto the sports bike, my Tamiya Ninja ZXRR, and it's a race bike, and I'm doing the Shinya Nakano bike. Now, as I've said to you before when I bought that, I've really like sports bikes. Wherever I don't ride bikes, I just love sports bikes, and I particularly like race bikes and motorcycle racing. And when I got it, I believe that like the last couple of kits, I might be wrong, but they brought a Suzuki race bike out, the latest one, which I really would like. But they've also done a Fireblade, not only last year, I believe. And I obviously like that one as well, but I like all the Tamiya, obviously, race bikes, particularly the more modern bikes, I suppose if you'd say last 20 years or so. But you know, I'll go back to the early 80s. That's when I first started liking bikes and bike racing and stuff. Bikes, if I've been on a few sports bikes over the years, but not as the guy at the front. But yeah, I didn't realise they came with centre seam, like, well, you know, you have to put 2 hours together for the fuel tank and things like that. And I've really struggled with putting seams together on aircraft, which you'll see on the, you can't see, hopefully, no. I've got a MiG-17 to show you tomorrow, probably. Yeah, that's got a seam line down the centre, like a blooming relief map of Europe. Now, Charlie Mack's been doing a couple of sports bikes, and it wasn't the last one he did, I think it was the one before. I put a comment down, I wish I wanted to do mine, and because I keep pulling this kit out, literally month after month, I pull the kit out, I look at it, no, I can't do it. I'm not wrecking such a lovely little kit like this, and I put it back. But as I said to old Tom, you know, you're not going to get any better if you don't actually build them. You can't just keep looking at the box and dreaming that one day you'll suddenly, for some magical reason, be if not a top-notch builder, but you'll make a presentable, whatever it is, bike, aircraft, tank, car, whatever. You've got to get in there and do it. So I just hadn't put any sports bikes on, as in model sports bikes, for ages, just because I just think, it just hurts me too much when I've got that one in the cupboard. And I succumbed. I put a sports bike model one on, and that evening, as I was watching it, and I've been watching, this guy had been doing a series of videos, and of course if you haven't been to a channel, you go back in the back catalogue of videos, and you watch a full build or whatever. And I had it on in the background as I was doing my painting work, and I just thought, tonight I'm building that bike. Come hell or high water, that bike's getting built. So I haven't got a lot done to it, so again, more intro than actual build. I haven't forgotten the Badger. There'll be a Badger video coming up between now and Sunday, or not two, no, probably one. So the Badger's not, I suppose it's getting knocked aside slightly to get this done, but it's still being built as I go along. So join me at the bench, because I want to show you the seam work that I've done on the fuel tank, because I've jumped ahead and I thought I'm nailing that fuel tank. So let's have a look. Right guys, this is the fuel tank. I'm going to be careful because everything's quite shiny. I can't see a fuel, I mean, I was so happy with that. I did what Charlie had said he did, and that was glue it. Now I think he used the normal thicker stuff. I used the extra thin from Tamiya. I didn't know if I was going to make a mistake with that or not. And there were a couple of places that it didn't look as if it was put, so I pushed it together to put that little rise of glue up. And there was a couple of places where I didn't get it fully, but it was good enough, I think. I can't see. There's a slight, I can't see because it's such shiny green, even though I've gone over it. It's such a shiny material. You can just see the discoloration of where there was a seam. Now, I'm going to obviously be putting some primer on that, so we'll be able to see if it really shows up. You can see here I've got to somehow deal with that little gap there and there. There is obviously a fuel filler cap going over this, so I'm not so fussed about the gap obviously underneath, but somehow I might need to try and put a bit of glue in there to cover that bit up. We'll see. I've only been starting this bit late last night, so it's not complete, but I got down, this was the first bit I tried. I know it's hard to see. I mean, that looks like a seam line there, but I've put my nail over it, I've gently put a scalpel over it, and the same here, and I can't feel a ridge or anything, so I'm hoping that'll disappear with paint. I can't really feel anything there either. I think that's more or less done, that one as well, but I just need to check that again tonight. But I'm really, oh, you can just see a tiny little bit under there. I'll see with, well, I could say fresh eyes, but this will all be silver, mostly out of the way, I believe, apart from obviously bits of it. That's going to have to be done better. You see, the problem is as well, I don't know, although I'm looking at photos of the real bike, they're not like walk around on a tank where you get into every nook and cranny. I can only see publicity photos, and not knowing my way around sports bikes, I don't know what's on view and what isn't. So that one's going to have to be filled. I think that one's fine up there because it goes on top of the main tank. But obviously I stuck that on as well last night, so that's going to be showing, so I don't know if this bit here will, so I'm going to try and do some work on that as well, just to make sure. It's practice if nothing else. But I'm so happy with that. I've never been able to get any type of seam line. Now I know, there you can just see that dark line there. Now to me that's okay. I mean, I don't know what you guys that do it obviously properly. I can't feel anything there. So I'm just hoping that's just the dark line of the plastic that's put together. But you know, again, it's for all you guys that do it. It sounds like I'm bigging something up for, you know. Oh well, it's just you know. So what, Gav? It's two pieces of plastic put together. But when you can't do something, and then you just manage to achieve something that's halfway livable, there will be a transfer as well, a decal going over the top of that as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. And that was, I just used different descending order of. I think these ones are Flory sanders, but I've got UMP, Flory. You know, I'll get me some of them Infinity ones one day. Infini, not Infinity. But yeah, I just went down to, you know, like doing the ones that they use for doing canopy glass, I think. But yeah, really happy with that. That's such a morale boost, that is. And that was the only thing that was really putting me off doing this, was that, and I believe there's another seam line I've got to do on something else. You know, and I've spent almost 2 years, or if not 2 years, picking this damn bike out. I just love these bikes, these Tamiya bikes, and you know, it's the one main thing of automotive I really like. You know, I say I am a military. If I build stuff, it's military mainly, but if I can crack the case with this bike, I can hopefully improve on others. I haven't got any fancy bits for it. I have drilled out the brake discs. I believe the newer bikes come with them already pre-drilled out, and it's obviously not as good as factory set, but I've drilled out the brake discs, still on the sprue. This is the engine that I started making first of all. I've done a bit of sprue glue filling. I don't know if it really needed it. I don't know what's really on show and what isn't. It sounds silly, I know you look at the instructions, but until you put your first engine all together and then put it in the bike and to know exactly what's being seen and what isn't, then for the next bike you get an idea roughly. I'm going to be spraying, I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to spray all this black, and then black, you know, shiny black, and then primer was the word I was after, and then I'll be spraying it the engine colours. There's a strip on the block, there's a strip, I believe it might be that lower piece, or it could be this piece here, that is actually a lighter colour, and I'm just thinking that's going to be a nightmare to try and get any conformation, you know, trying to conform masking tape on that. So I might do that by hand, but I don't know yet. So that was that. So I'm going to spray that this afternoon, I think, where I've got the time. Spray that, and you know, it can be then ready for adding on bits. Because if I add on too many of these bits, sorry guys, I've left my blooming computer sound on. Yeah, if I there's so much stuff that's got to go on here, I'm not going to get to places if I'm not careful. And it's not like, say, a tank engine in one of the tanks, you know, one of the full build tanks where you then cover it over and nobody sees it. Obviously, there's a good chance it's going to be seen. So, and I want to do the bike justice. So that's that. Frame I started with as well. First of all, I should have said, you put these little threads in here, little nuts, and then put your plastic over the top. So there's only about 3 or 4 bits on this, I think. There is some obviously sink marks. I'm wishing now I never gave the sink mark. This is a problem with my head. I'll put some sprue glue on there that's going to be cleaned off as well. I never gave the sink marks a blooming thought, because they're black you don't hardly see them. And this was the case in this. These two halves are obviously separate, and then this goes on the top. Well, again, there's sink marks there, and I've tried to put plastic putty and wipe it away, and as you see, it's not been very successful. So I'm just wondering if I can. I'm kicking myself because this is where this is on the rear, so your rear tyre goes in there. So you're not going to see it really, but you know, like that, you'll probably see that one. And I know it's there, you know what I mean? So I'm going to have a good scrape at that, but it's going to be such a... I'm kicking myself really. I'm just racing ahead again, and obviously with my head problems as well, I say concentration is always a problem. So yeah, that's a bummer, but we'll get it sorted somehow. And obviously sprue glue on there just to thicken it up. There's a big seam line there, so I want to get that sorted. So that's sprue glued in places. So yeah, there we go. Let's get our lovely fuel tank back on show again. So yeah, it was a case of I'd have probably been better off really using the thicker glue and pushing it to get more of a squirt coming out without, you know, without flooding too much. But it more or less did the job with the extra thin. You know, I'd parted it once because I didn't think I put enough. Put an extra, because you know what problem is extra thin, it burns off quite quick, evaporates. Put a bit more in and then gently put them together, because there's not a lot holding, you know, it pushes into there, but there's no pins as such apart from one at this end, I believe. As I say, that one might be a bit more problematical. I probably won't be doing anything with that because it's, as I say, I don't think it's going to be seen, but that one might be though. I might just do them all just for the hell of it, just to practice on. But yeah, modelling project wasn't supposed to be worked on. You know, it's oh well, it just happens, doesn't it? But in my defence, I've wanted to do this bike for 2 years, and when I did the unboxing ages ago, and I saw that was in 2 halves, you know, I thought, this is just, I don't want this fuel tank having ripples all up and down it and dings in it and whatever, you know. And hopefully we've managed to, if not, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be one of old Tom's, not that he does bikes, but you know, it's not going to be like old Tom's or some of you other guys that, or Charlie Max, but yeah, I'm happy with that. Thanks a lot, guys. As I say, a bit of a left of field one, this one. I hadn't announced it or anything, it was just at spur of the moment, and just to see if I could get some of this bike, actually get my first bike built and see if I can learn from it after that. As I say, I'm putting no extras on this. There's none of these metal Tamiya metal forks at the front. I mean, I think they're about £26, I believe, maybe even more with the postage. You add in paint and stuff as well. Oh, by the way, I'm painting this. I hope it's not going to bite me on the bum. I'm painting this in the Tamiya acrylic light green. I didn't really want to decant there's a spray, I take it that is lacquer. I was going to get the zero paints, which didn't work well for me last time, which in the paint's fault was mine, you know, and I melted the pickup truck, or if not melted it, I damaged all the paint on that. And also, to be honest with you, for the price of one bottle of paint, I was being charged again at least another £1 or £2 more above the what the bottle cost. You know, it was costing, you know, I think it was going to cost me about 16 quid, something like that. Might have even been a £1 or £2 more for one bottle with the shipping, and that's not a chance. Yeah, and so I've ended up getting an eBay bottle. I just hope that I knew Tamiya had brought out some new lacquers, and I was hoping that they'd done this light green, but they don't seem to have at the moment. It seems to be just more military colours. And Gunze, I couldn't see one in there. So I'm hoping that when I do the acrylic, it'll be on top of a lacquer primer. So I'm hoping that on these sharp edges, it will stick to it. You know, I'm thinking I've made a mistake getting the acrylic, and maybe I should have just got the damn spray can and decanted it into into a plastic thing, and then put it in my airbrush. If it is lacquers, I'm just worried about the, you know, if it's going to hold and bite enough on the edges here as I polish it. Right, guys, I know I'm rambling as I always do. So look after yourselves. Coming up, there'll be the MiG 17 that Joe sent me. I just put the pitot tubes on last night and realised I hadn't actually painted them. So I've got to do that, just hand paint them with a brush tonight sometime when I finish the commission painting. So I've got that to show tomorrow. There'll be the next figure to be painted on, you know, like paint along with Gav type of thing, will be the 30 Years War figure from Avonpost. Commission I'm doing for Mez's Minis. Well, that's the last one, so I'm going to do that as a paint along type of thing, like we did the Vietnam figure. So that's going to be done as well. So and then obviously there'll be a Badger video update as well. And you know, I'm trying to keep those ones to any 5 to 10 minutes maximum. So look after yourselves, and hopefully I've sorted with the voiceover of that. They're not going to be perfect because I don't have my own mic or anything like that, but hopefully do, rather than just have the tinkly music, do a voiceover with it as well, but we'll see. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll catch each other soon on another video.